Hello everyone, you are on the channel Laki.K Development, and today by making this video I would like to start new video series where I will show and explain how to solve algorithm tech problems. It's very important to know how to solve them since you will be asked to do so on almost every job interview for a software developer position. In those videos, I will explain how to solve problem, I will show multiple ways of solving them and explain why one way is better than another. During this series, I will use Golang, so I will go through some basic Go syntax and I will give you my notes about it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, click the like button and let's start. Here is our first problem. It's a basic and easy problem which you can find very often on interviews. I will go through the description and try to explain what is required from us and the logic behind its solution. The name of this project is toSum, and here what we are asked. Given an array of integers and an integer target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. Okay, so we have two input parameters, an array of integers and one other integer. We should return an array of two integers. Let's jump to first example to understand the question better. Let's say we have input array with numbers 2, 7, 11 and 15. The target number is 9, so we are looking for numbers that add up to 9, and we see that 2 plus 7 is 9. So now we need to return their indexes. So index of 2 is 0 and index of 7 is 1. So output will be array with numbers 0 and 1. Okay, I think it's better now. Let's continue. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use the same element twice. Okay, nothing to explain here, it's pretty clear. We have only one pair of indices, which is correct, and we can't use the same number twice. That means our indices will always be different in our return array. You can return the answer in any order. That means we can start looking for our answer from any side of array. We already covered first example, so let's jump to the second one. In example number 2, we have three integers in given array, 3, 2 and 4. The target number is 6, so the output is array of 1 and 2, because only one pair gives us result of 6 and it's 2 and 4. Last example is even simpler. We have only two numbers in given array 3 and 3, and target number is 6, so the result is array of 0 and 1. The last part of the problem is constraints. Array we get from the beginning will have at least two numbers and not more than 105. Numbers inside the array and target number can't be less than minus 109 and more than 109. So we can use a regular int class in our code. And for the end, they remind us that we have only one pair which is correct. I will give you some spoiler. We will have three solutions. Let's start with first one, brute force. Okay, so let's create folder for our first solution. I will call it sol1. Also, I will create new file readme where I will put some notes and where I will explain what we will do. For this explanation, I will use my own example, array with number 6, 5, 2 and 7, and target number is 9. So first way to solve this question is just to loop through array and for each element to loop again and to try to find number which adds to target number. So to illustrate it, we take first number 6 and we loop through array again and check, is 6 plus 5 give us 9? No. We take next number. Is 6 plus 2 gives us 9? And answer no. Is 6 plus 7 is 9? No. We finished loop for number 6 and no result. So we take next number 5 and loop again through array. But since we already checked 6 plus 5, we will start our loop from next number, which is 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7 and 5 plus 7 is 12. We go to the next number 2 and 2 plus 7 finally give us correct answer. However, we don't need to return numbers, we need to return their indices. So the index of 2 is 2 and index of 7 is 3. So our output will be array with number 2 and 3. Perfect, let's code. So let's create Go file. I will call it sol.go, add it to repo, and now we need to create our function. I will call it toNums. As we already know, it receives array of integers, so nums array int and target int. Return value is array of integer. Perfect. Basic structure is done, so we can start to solve our problem. As I already told on explanation, we need to loop through array. So let's do it. For I equal 0, I less than len nums, I++, and for each element we need to loop again. So for y equal I plus 1, because we need to take the next number in array, y less than len nums, and y++. Next, we need to check if numbers in indices I and y add up to target, and if yes, to return those indices. So if nums I plus nums y equal target, and if yes, we return array of integers with values I and y. Also, if we don't find any numbers which adds up to target, we will return array with values -1 and -1. Great, our solution is done, and the only thing that is remaining to do is to test it. I will use built-in test generator, right mouse click, generate, and test for file. By doing that, we get template for testing our function. We will add it to Git repo, and we need to add our test cases. I already prepared couple of cases. I will just paste them here and explain them. Couple words about this test. We give array of different cases, and testing library loops through them and compare return value from our function with expected value which we provided in our array of cases. So here in this array, first 3 cases are examples from problem description. This is the name, this is given array and target number, and this is expected output. The same with those two. The last case is from me. We check that if we don't find correct indices, we return -1 and -1. Perfect, let's run it. And there we go, all tests passed successfully. This solution is working. However, it isn't the best solution because we loop through array and then for each element we loop again. If our given array will have a lot of numbers, it will take huge amount of time to find correct element, and the time will grow exponentially. Great, let's try to improve our solution. I already created new folder for new solution and copied all necessary files. In readme file I wrote info about current solution, so let me explain it. We have input array of 6, 5, 2 and 7. The target number is 9 and we need to find indices of numbers which add up to this target. In this solution we will use dictionary. We will create it and store numbers indices as values and numbers themselves as keys. To create our dictionary, we will loop once through given array and use indices and values to fill dictionary. So after we finish to create our dictionary, we will have this structure. We will have value of 0 in key 6, value 1 in key 5, 2 in key 2, and finally 3 in key 7. Then we will loop through given array, and for each number we will check if we have a number which adds up to target. This number will be target minus current number. If we find key in dictionary, we will get index of current number from loop and index of number from dictionary. And finally, we will return those indices. Let's check this solution in work. So we create a dictionary, and now we loop through given array. Let's take number 6, and the number that we need for getting 9 is 3, because 9 minus 6 is 3. So we check if our dictionary has key 3. We don't have this key, so we skip to the next number. Next number is 5, so 9 minus 5 is 4. Do we have key 4? No, we skip to next number. 9 minus 2 is 7, and we have this key in dictionary, so we take index of 2, which is 2, and we get value from our dictionary, and it's 3. So our return will be array of integers with values 2 and 3. I think we understand now the solution, so let's write this code. Here we already have basic structure of our function. Input parameters are array of integer and target integer, and we will return array of integers. If we don't find correct numbers, we will return array with values -1 and -1. Let's start coding. First, we need to create dictionary. To create empty dictionary in Go, we have make function, which can initialize an object of type slice, map, or chain. So, dict equal make. Here we need to pass required type. In our case, it's map with keys in type int and with values in type int as well. Also, we need to provide initial size of our map. In our case, it's 0. Now we have empty map and we need to fill it. This time, instead of using a regular for loop with I variable, we will use a range form of for loop. For index num equal range nums. In this loop form, for each iteration, we get two values. First is index and second is copy of element at that index. Now we need to put index value in dictionary key. So dict num equal index. Perfect, our dictionary is ready. We can continue with our solution. Now we need to loop again through given array. So for index num equal range nums, and we need to check that the key target minus num exists in our dictionary. Two notes first. In Go, when we get value from dictionary by key, it returns two values. First for value, and second is boolean flag if key exists or not. Also, Go has if statement form where before if condition we want to get some data and use it in current if block. Like in our case, we want to check that key exists in dictionary, and if it exists, we want to get it and make some action with it. So if index2 found equal dict target minus num. Now we put semicolon, and here we put our if condition, and we want to check that key was found, and if it is, we also want to check that index of that found number isn't the index of current num variable, because we can't use the same element twice. So index2 not equal index. If all conditions are met, we can return array of int with values index and index2. Nice, our solution is done and we can test it. As you remember, I already copied test file from previous solution, so we don't need to create a new one. So let's open it and try it. Every test is passed. Our solution is working correctly. Perfect, this solution is much better from performance perspective, because now it loops through array only twice instead of looping through array for every element in array. But this solution can be improved as well, and we can make it loop through array only once. So let's see how we will do it. All files are copied, and let's look in readme file and I will explain final solution. We have the same input array with values 6, 5, 2 and 7. Target number is 9. This time we will use dictionary again. We will create it, but we won't fill it with values from the beginning. We will do it at the same time we are looping through given array and trying to find second number. During the loop we will check if key target minus number exists in dictionary, and if it does, we found our number and we will return indices. If key doesn't exist, we will store current number as key and its index as value, and we will skip to the next number in given array. Let's illustrate this solution. So we have given array, target number and empty dictionary. Now we loop through given array and our first number is 6 and its index is 0. The number we are looking for to get 9 is 3, so our key will be 3 because 9 minus 6 is 3. Since our dictionary is empty, we don't have any keys yet. So we will put current number 6 as key and its index as value. Then we will take next number in given array, the number is 5 and index is 1. We calculate key. 9 minus 5 is 4, so we need to look for key 4 in our dictionary. However, we don't have key 4, so we store 5 as key, 1 as its value, and we continue to the next number. Number is 2 and index is 2. Key is 9 minus 2 and it's 7. And again, we don't have key 7 in our dictionary, so we will store 2 as key and its index 2 as value. Finally, we have number 7 and its index is 3. Key that we are looking for is 2, and we have key 2 in our dictionary. Here it is. Now we need to output indices of found numbers, and index of 7 is 3 and index of 2 is 2, and we have an answer. Perfect, let's convert this solution to code. Here is our function, and the first thing that we need to do is to create empty dictionary. So we will do it the same way we did it in last solution. Dict equal make required type is map with key type of int and value of type int. Initial size is 0. Next we will loop through array for index num equal range nums, and now the same way we did in last solution, we will check if key target minus num exists in dictionary, and if yes, return numbers indices. So if index 2 found equal dict target minus num semicolon, and if found return array with values index 2 and index. But if we didn't find key in dictionary, we put index in key num, so dict num equal index. That's it, we don't need to do anything else. Let's run test to see if it's working. Perfect, it does. So as you can see, this solution is really short and the time it required to run is linear because we loop only once. In this video we saw that problem can be solved in multiple ways, and on interviews, if we can't think about perfect solution, we always can use straightforward one, like brute force in our first solution, and then to try to improve it. I created GitHub repo where I pushed all code from this video. You can find URL in description. You can clone it and check everything we did here by yourself. If you have any questions, ask them in comments section and I will glad to answer them. I hope this video was helpful to you, and if you want to see other tech problems on this channel, subscribe, click the like button and don't miss next videos. Thank you for watching this video and see you soon.